Okay, so this is going to be the third and final, hoorah when it comes to this whole Austin Holloman thing because, yeah, I just want to wrap it up. I actually did a whole video. It was like an hour long, but something was up with my mic and it didn't take. So I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just do this quick video here because that's really all it needs is a wrap up. It should not have gotten out of hand the way it did, and it's really nothing wrong and nothing inaccurate about what Austin Holloman said about white men being preferred internationally over black men. So it's really nothing majorly wrong with that statement, especially coming from someone more traveled than I. The thing is that it was overstated. It was overstated, meaning that it was weaponized. And once you use or attempt to use a weapon against someone, then you know that the whole friend and foe thing is made clear at that point. It's like, okay, I know what he's doing, but didn't know why he was doing it. And really, it's just a matter of you're in chronic competition. It's not enough to just have. And by the way, recently Skylar did a post, and he was like, "Why so much infighting? Just be happy. Just we're all traveling. We're all enjoying the good life. We're all enjoying the increased sex life that comes with living abroad and living outside the matrix. Why not just be happy with that?" Well, the reason is clear: is that for some people, happiness is a relative thing, meaning that they can only be happier if they can only be happy if they feel that they are justified in being happier than their peers. And that's the problem. They're not they judge their happiness on a curve, not just on, hey, if I get an A, I get an A. If I'm happy, if I get some A, I get some A. So, if I get a B followed by a J, then I'm also happy. Like, some people are just wired different in that regard, and I think that that's what's going on with Austin now, which would normally be really more of a he problem, but it's deeper than that, and the reason that it's deeper than that is because there is a such thing as ethnic reputation, and the things that we do, especially since we are a minority travel group and we're a very new travel group, the things that we do really affect our image internationally. And right now, if we continue down this path, our image internationally will become desperate for validation, because that's what it is. When you're competing with other men, they are the judge. The women are the judge in that competition, which means that the women will have this sense of power and authority. They are your judge. Even if she is, on the streets begging for food, she still has power over you. She still has the power to judge you. She still has the power to determine who is the better man between you and anyone else who wants to hit it. That's why during the whole waitress situation, where she was friendlier with the white guys over you, she understood her power. Even though she was a server to you, she understood that she had power over you, because you're in competition and she is the judge of that competition. She gave her judgment and it was against you. She understood that she had that power, and she did not have to act in the capacity of a server at that point. You're losing power just by doing that. And, I don't want that reputation, to be perfectly honest. I want to be clear when I go to a restaurant internationally, like, listen, you are to serve me. If you do not do so to my satisfaction, then, your services will no longer be needed. And, I will express my disdain for your service to the necessary peoples. Point blank, period. I don't have no time. I'm not gonna try to prove myself. I don't do that crap here, and I'm not gonna do that crap abroad for abroad. Though I want something that you offer, validation is not part of it. It's not it. What I want from you is separate from validation because I haven't even determined if you're valid until I get what I want from you. That's the end all be all of it. And I've actually seen it happen in my own travels. I was in a cab driver with a guy in the Philippines with a cab driver. I was in a cab with a cab driver in the Philippines. And the guy just I didn't bring up the subject, but he said, um, you here for girls? I said, no. I'm here with a friend to gamble. And I really didn't go to gamble, but that's what we wound up doing initially. Long story, right? But and I was actually asking for a ride to the casino. Well, he was like, well, you should have girlfriend. I was like, well, I'm here, so anything I have going on at home is separate from what I have going on here. Um, and he said, yeah, but black men not liked in the Philippines, right? I was like, okay, well, that's that. And the reason why I was like that's that because one, I knew it was capped from the reaction I was getting online when I was doing some pre-selecting. But two, I really wasn't when I got there. I really wasn't like super attracted to them physically. So if this was going to be like a sexless vacation, I really didn't care. I really didn't care about that too much, you know. But he in three, I kind of seen what he was doing, and I don't know if it's because I was older than Austin, but something like that is obvious. Something like that is obvious. So but I have women, I have sister-in-law who like black men, right? I was like, oh, okay. Um, and I was still thinking, like, listen, I'm not physically attracted to. I didn't say this, but I was thinking, like, I'm not attracted to the majority of your country. Okay, let me put this disclaimer out there. To Filipino women, it's not that I'm unattracted to you, um, or anything like that. It's just that. It's and it's not that you're not really okay. I'm more attracted to you culturally, your behavior and things like that, than I am to your physicality. It just doesn't jump out to me like that. I'm more of a C cup guy. Very few of you have those. And yeah, so it's that. Now, I will say that the ones here in America, for whatever reason, maybe they give out green cards based on physical appeal, but are exceptionally attractive. In the country, I just wasn't feeling it. Some city, maybe it was just where I was. Some cities, just the chicks aren't hitting like that. But I knew that the odds that his sister-in-law was going to look anything worth a damn is was going to be very, 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 very slim. So he showed me her picture, and I was like, "Yeah, I knew it." I was like, "Well, I'm not really attracted to your sister-in-law." He was like, "Yeah, but she like you. No, no other girl will." I was like, all right. Let's not talk about this, and let's focus on getting to my destination, right?" But he just kept trying to shove this overaged, overweight, and very few Filipinos are overweight down my penis. He was really just trying to like, listen, no, it's not going to happen. It's not. Uh, and what was worse is, um, I let's just say I did do better while I was in that country. and race was it was a barrier. Okay. Dang, how can I say this? Race was a barrier, but it was a barrier for a completely different reason. Um, okay, some cultures like BBC, other cultures are afraid of it. Point blank, period. Um, and that was a factor. And not saying that that was the only thing, but it was so negligible. It was so negligible how it would work against you that it really isn't a major concern. And it shouldn't be a major concern of anyone. And it should not. And this is why, though it exists, it should not, it should not be a what's the word I'm looking for? It should not be a portal for a man to just throw his garbage to you, which is what this cab driver was trying to do. Which is, if you continue to whine and complain about it, they're going to see it as an opportunity to start throwing their garbage to you. You know, like K. They're going to, that's what's going to happen. Like, oh, we're dealing with the insecure bunch of men, so we're going to play on that insecurity. I do not have time for that crap. And you broadcasting it is going to encourage more crap like that. Yes, it's a problem. Get yours and move on. Jesus. So that's why I did the last two videos on it. That's why I'm doing this final video to wrap it up. I mean, it's that, and it's a bunch of other things. First of all, you know, it's bad to even have that mentality, yet alone flaunt it. Once you do that, you're putting other brothers in you're just messing with the ethnic reputation of Black men. We're coming off as, you know, competitive, needy for validation, extraordinarily insecure, and make that an individual concern. Do not make that an ethnic concern. Fellas, to wrap it up, yes, it is a problem. But so, okay. Here's what I mean when I say yes, it's a problem. Because then this is what it would make me think of, right? Imagine a kid going to Disneyland. And the kid just, you know, just one day everything is like Disneyland, Disneyland, Disneyland. You know, it's spectacular. It's the greatest place on earth. It's the happiest place on earth. And, you know, he's excited. He's at Disneyland. And then, you know, he comes back, or he gets on a show, or, you know, he just says, yeah, it's a lot of litter here. It's like, excuse me? Like, yeah, there's a lot of litter in Disneyland. I seen a guy eat a hot dog and throw the wrapper on the ground. And, you know, there's a lot of litter here. It's like you're ignoring the overall happiness that is Disneyland to a kid and focused on the litter. And it seems like if that kid was like trying to drive that point in, it would seem like that kid, it would be obvious that that kid is obviously trying to make Disneyland a less enjoyable experience for everyone else. And this is the same kid that comes from a trash home. Like, he comes from a neighborhood that is full of litter. He comes from a home that's full of litter. Like, you know, figuratively speaking, of course. It's that weird dynamic. Don't be weird. This is GameChanger 00100. Game over. Peace.